This week I'm going to talk to you about new products that I've bought. So we've already talked about the products that I've used and abused completely. This week I bring you new products which are fresh for the taking, and we're going to begin with skin. I was walking out of Forever 21, I went shopping, bought a few shirts, and you know, at the end of the billing counter they always have these little knickknacks that they can make more money off you from, and this was one of them. I fell for it. This was the Facial Cleansing Ultra Soft Brush for this 300 rupees only. I cannot explain how soft this is. It's like almost like a baby's bottom is rubbing against me. But it is to clean, and it's got this little shower thingy that you can hang on your shower caddy. I quite like the color, and it's really ultra soft. It's quite lovely. I haven't used it on my face yet, it's brand new, but I will. And then I got this sponge from my local beauty store in Bandra called Beautiful. It's a 250 rupees. This is, I think it's India's version of the Beauty Blender. The Beauty Blender is fantastic and it's very porous and lovely. It costs over like 1,000 or 2,000 rupees. This one, however, is just 250 rupees. They come in all different sorts of colors, and it's shaped sort of like a weird dildo. At least that's what I thought of when I saw it, and especially the pink one looks really phallic, so I didn't pick that. But I like that it has this pointed edge which you can really go into, you know, close corners like the eyes and around the nose and stuff. And then there's this side, the flat side, which you can use on the face, I suppose. It's like those stamps that you can hold and, you know, just pat and roll over the face. Then we move on to some foundations. I found these at in Car in Bombay. There's a store called New Beauty Center or something like that, and this is called Bodyography Oil-Free Natural Finish Foundation. I bought them in two shades. This one is shade 150 and this one is shade 200. Now I will tell you, these products are really expensive. They're almost like 2 or 3 grand each bottle. So I was antsy, and they wouldn't even let me try it. There were no testers, so it was really bizarre. So all I went by was the color. This I thought would be perfect for me. However, when I pumped it out, look at how light it is. I'm sure it's great for somebody with that skin tone, but I mean, it really doesn't look like what it does in the packaging. So that was a bit of a disappointment for me because I wasted a lot of money on it. And this one, which I thought would be, you know, for really a skin much more deeper, richer pigment than mine, ended up being something that I could use. Again, I would have liked a little more orange in the product if it were for me, because it would sort of negate darkness in the skin, but it could still work. I'm going to swatch these on my hand. You can see how light that one is. Almost, I mean, if I have a really light skin Punjabi, I'd probably use that, number 150. But this one is great for me, yes, sure, but it's not going to brighten my complexion. It will almost make it look a bit sallow. So all in all, would I buy this again? Probably not. I always feel like when I give you some bad news, or not so good news, I should compensate with some great news, which is what I'm going to do with Guerlain's foundation. It's called Lingerie de Peu, and it truly is like lingerie. It feels like second skin. It's pretty much one of the nicest foundations I've ever used. There are two shades, shade number 23 and shade number 24. I'm going to swatch them both for you. 23, it's got so much of warmth in it. Right? It's got that gold in it, which is great for colored skin tones like ours, and the texture is phenomenal. It has such a beautiful texture. See, this is lighter. This is just 2 shades deeper than that. This one, number 24, is what I use, and it's what I'm currently using all over my face. You can't even tell. Even if you were up close in person, you can probably see that I'm wearing compact or powder over it, but you can never tell that I'm wearing the foundation, even though I've really loaded up on the face. You see how the product just stretches. It stretches and stretches and stretches, and it just sort of envelops the contour of the face without ever feeling heavy. Neither does it feel heavy, nor does it look heavy, nor does the texture feel like you need to really rub. I'm really using the faintest touch with my makeup finger, and it blends so beautifully. So I literally take this, I do this with my finger all over the face, and then I just go over it with a rounded brush. That's all I do. So even though it's a light liquid, the coverage is pretty much medium coverage. It's not full coverage, it's not light coverage. It's got great tenure, like it lasts for a long time, and it stays matte. The next thing I'm going to show you is this product by Essence. Now I found this at the same store that I found the Bodyographic foundation at. It's by Essence. Seems like a really inexpensive, economic, affordable brand. Now this is called All About Matte Oil Control Paper, and there are 50 papers in one box. This box is only for 250 rupees and it keeps your face matte. It's great for when you don't want to constantly put powder on and compact that builds and you end up looking like a wall at the end of the day. You don't want that, especially if you're a makeup artist and you're shooting. Adding powder constantly to the face is just adding layers. When you want to avoid that, all you do, you pull out one and the other one is ready to be pulled out again. All you need to do is hold on the face and press and hold, and it absorbs all the excess oil. Now I've got incredibly oily skin and I need a lot of powder in between and touching up in between shots, and I love using these oil papers because I don't like adding layers to my face. So you can see it not only takes off excess makeup, but also, I don't know if you can see the oil. Okay, so I'm going to do this again on the forehead. So I'm going to press and hold. You have to hold and give it a few seconds to absorb all of that oil. It just absorbs all of the oil. It's incredible. So I love these oil sheets, and I think it's essential in any makeup artist kit, or even if you get oily. Speaking about keeping the face matte or having your makeup look fresh and like it's freshly done, this loose powder is by Ben Nye and it's called Cameo Luxury Powder. I'm going to show you. It's quite lovely. It's very translucent. You can barely see it. Mattifies. See? It spreads quite beautifully and it doesn't build and build and build. However, it does have iridescence to it. I don't know if the camera can pick up, as I move my wrist, if it can pick up the tiny micro shimmers in the product. It might be great for regular wear, but not so much if you're a makeup artist doing like cinema work or ad work where it's going to be seen on a big screen or something. Then these kind of powders tend to catch too much of light. So more for everyday usage, everyday people. Great powder, and look at the quantity, is phenomenal and it's not very expensive. Then for skin, we have NARS Illuminator. Now they have a bronzer in powder form called Laguna. However, this is an illuminating bronzer also called Laguna by NARS. The texture's fantastic. Squeezy bottles are my favorite. So this is a squeezy, and this bronzer is so beautifully golden. Now you can mix it in your foundation, or you can use it just as a blusher, or even just as a highlighter if you're really deep skin toned. But I love it, and look at the shimmers that the product has. Now you're probably wondering why I have my nails like this in this weird color. Now I've painted these this one orange and I've given it a blue flower. This one's white. I'm going to paint a black something over it. I want to share that I bought this at a stationery shop recently. They're these little stickers that like stencils, and I thought I'd put it on the face, you know, for just going out and having some fun. However, I realized that you could also use it on the nails because it's, let's pick for instance the sun. So it's like a sticky peel. There are 2 sheets and they're for 99 rupees only at the craft store. It's at this place called Something Special on Hill Road in Bandra. So it's like a sticker. I'm going to stick that maybe in a corner here. And I'm going to take a black nail polish and literally going to just pat that on there and review the rest of these products and then come back and show you how this looks once I've peeled off the tape. Speaking of, I've got another nail polish remover. You know, I've showed you the bourgeois ones before. It's basically you dip your finger in, keep it there for a bit, let the product break the pigment of your nail polish. Don't keep stabbing it like you're masturbating the thing. Rotate it a few times and then pull it out. But this one is by Sephora. It's a beautiful color, the packaging. It literally attracts your eye. It's again one of those knickknacks at the end of the billing counter. And it smells great. And this one is for 775 rupees. It is expensive, but I quite like it. Maybe we'll remove this orange one and show you how it works. Give it about 5 seconds and then just rotate and pull out. Clean. Nail smells good? Yes. Feels sticky? No. Now, moving on to Bobbi Brown. Now, Bobbi Brown opened in Bombay some months ago. It's a lovely store at the Palladium Mall. And we all love Bobbi Brown because they're not so expensive, but at the same time, they're a reputable brand. She makes incredible stuff. I found this blusher called Tawny, T-A-W-N-Y. It is lovely. Any Indian color, whether you're light, deep, whatever. I really like it. It's matte. Probably not the best place to show you, but it looks like a love bite. We found this Bobbi Brown Smoky Eye Mascara. Beautiful packaging, matte silver. Such elegant font. I really like the packaging. So I'm going to just use this. See? Beautiful. And I like these ones. They're just simple. They're not fat and stubby. They don't get all over the place. Might need to go over a few times more to coat every lash, but I like the precision that a fine brush, a fine wand allows. This one's called black. And then I got these 3 things in pots. They're all cream eyeshadows. The deeper ones, the brown and the grey, are liners as well, and they've all got glitters in them. So I'm going to show you. If I took the silver, which is called Thunderstorm, it's a long wearing gel sparkle shadow and liner. If I took this, a flat brush, and used it just as a line, it's incredible, right? And see how blendable it is? Beautiful. So it catches a highlight, adds dimension to the eye. You can work it as a liner with a flat brush, or you could blend it. Now remember, these are long wearing things, which means they dry up quickly, so you want to work faster. Or you can use your finger to just smoke it out like that. Look at how beautiful that is. So I love grey on Indian skin or brown skin. Grey and brown look so beautiful together. Then we'll use a brown. This one's called Smoky Topaz. I'm going to pick some of this product, draw a line, just has a bit of shimmer. It's barely there. Now, you know, this one may not work so much on my kind of skin tone, but let's say, for example, if you were lighter, like the color of my palm. So you see, if you're lighter, it's more obvious, but it's a nice sort of nude, soft warmth around the eyes, but it's not a very hard color. It's just there to add dimension. And then finally, this one is too light to use as a liner, and they don't even market it as a liner. It just says cream eyeshadow in sandy gold. I'm going to pick this with my finger and just pat that. You know, I love these kind of cream shadows or paint pots because they make for a great shadow to layer powder eyeshadow on, and it stays much longer, especially if you know you're going to last. If you're a bride or you're in the movies or ads, you want the makeup to be very long wearing. This is great because you can layer on some powdered shadow over it and it will just last. And again, Bobbi Brown isn't too heavy on the pocket, so definitely a thumbs up. Finally, the last thing that I'm going to review from my new purchases with regard to makeup are these lashes by Ardell. Now, I bought a whole bunch of them by the dozen, but I thought I'd share the 3 types that I bought. One is, it's called Lucky's, and they're just really nice triangles, not too heavy but not light at all, adds definition. I really hate, but this is a personal opinion, so I really dislike long falsies because they make me feel like, I mean, I leave that for drag queens or for theater, for drama, but when I think about beauty, I think about it being relatable and something that doesn't overwhelm, right? So Lucky's is one such pair of lashes because it's not long, but it adds enough volume. This is for 375 rupees, and you can either buy it online or I found it at the Krylin Beauty Palace in Andheri. And then there are these two, numbers 201 and 202. Now they're called double up because they're really intense. Let's see, this is the difference. I've got 3 more things to share. Brush cleaners. You know, I reviewed the empties the last time, and I talked about the MAC brush cleaner. I did go out and buy it again, but I also came across the PAC brush cleaner. I've said this many times, I love squeezy bottles. In that sense, I like this. This was a nicer size because I can travel with it. However, this one feels a bit, it's not bad at all. It's lovely, cleans well, but it's it feels a bit oily. So I don't really know the science behind it, but this one feels a bit oily. This one evaporates much quicker. And the price points aren't that different. This is about 700 and something, this is 900, so, but this is something that I bought. And the last thing I'm going to share with you that I bought, this is by Victoria's Secret. It's called Very Sexy Now. It's a hair and body oil. I'm sharing it in this episode because I like using it for the body, legs, décolletage, shoulders, hands. When you're wearing those dresses and you really want your skin to glow but not look too oily, and you don't want to get your hands dirty when you're doing it. So one spritz does the job. You can massage it in with your hands if you like, but I like to leave it there and let the skin absorb what it has to. But that was the last product I had to share with you guys. So don't forget to like the video if you've enjoyed this. The nail that I've been meaning to pull out for you, if I just yank it off slowly, clearly the white was still raw, but I could have given it some longer time. However, it looks cute. I think the black and white is far more chic than the orange and blue was. I guess I could have painted the white on when I left home, so it had that hour to sort of completely dry out. And the tape is quite potent, it's quite sticky. Or maybe you can dull the tape a bit by, you know, sticking it on something else and just using it more as a stencil than a tape. And that wouldn't pull out. But this is good learning too. And I do think it's very chic. Black and white is super chic. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. My handle is Elton J. Fernandez. And I'll see you next week. Take care.